everybody. Make some noise if you made a movie this weekend. Okay. Guys, I'm Sam. I'm not Milo. Sorry, Milo couldn't be here tonight. Maybe he'll be here at the second screening. We have some great films for you tonight. Are you excited? Okay. We'll have one person from each team come on stage and we'll do a Q&A with you all. I have captioned all the films, and it's very hard to caption 76 films in 1 week, so if there are any little mistakes, we do apologize for that. It's almost all right, but if you notice any little words, sorry about that. Try our very best. Right, are you guys excited? Okay, I think that's all we need to say, so make some noise, and don't forget to sing along with our theme song. This is, I think, the 5th screening you've been to, which is excellent. So I think you know what I'm going to say. I think you know. By this point, you know. I do owe you a drink if you come to the next screening.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. There we go. So can you please start it off with your name, the name of your film, and remind them what that film was.
So I'm Frances, and I'm with Just Film Productions, and we made Aftertaste, which was a film which had flashbacks to...
Hi, my name is Brahma, and I'm from the team at Prakashita, and we made the short film The Handover, which was, the one shot. So yeah, the one where the girl screams at the end.
I'm Sam, I'm from Covalent Productions, and we made the film Professionals about the amateur heroin dealer.
With Glasgow Pictures, we did Handcuffs, about the guy being interrogated about the killing of his wife.
Hello, I'm Tom, I'm from RTV. We made Familiar Faces about the serial killer who thinks he's going to be killed, but it turns out he killed everyone.
And our film was the last one there, Real Man, about the guy coming to terms with being a father out in the wild.
Hi, I'm Anthony. Our team was Film Phenomenon, and we made Berry Bright, which was the weird one with all the massive pink soda cans.
I'm Lucas from the Expositioners. We made The Whimsy Society, about the pair of detectives investigating the ball pit.
Hi, I'm Isaac. I'm from the Y Possessioners, and we wrote the one about the lady who makes the drink that makes everyone go crazy and start dancing.
Hi, I'm Dylan, and I'm from the Scooby-Doos, and we made the film Seen and Unseen, which was about the litter picker meeting all sorts of weird and magical people while he was doing his job.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mark. I'm from Clyde Built Films. And it was the first film that you saw this evening about, well, it was a musical, wasn't it? Let's be honest. That's it.
Give them all a big round of applause, okay. And for yourselves as well, everyone who took part. Well done, everyone. Do that. If this was your first ever 48, can you please take one step forward? It was like your weekend, your first ever time.
So I think just before the weekend, I think that was sort of the hardest part, because I sort of registered like 1 week back, and I didn't have any team. I had to message people. Everyone was busy because everyone was in a team or something. So, but like the team I had was really good. Like they were so amazing. Like one of the best acting I've seen from myself. And during the weekend, we sort of had the location set, but still, like. It was like we met, that was the time we met first time. So, it was so hard to, to communicate and understand each other. But at the end, when everything, the shoot ended, we felt so relief, and it was really well, and it's so nice meeting so many, I think I've made so many good friends, so yeah, definitely.
It could be the moment you turned your film in, or it could be any time in between then, starting with yourself.
So I really love, this is my second time doing it, and I really love that moment when you get your genre and everybody's in the room and we're all kind of throwing ideas out and kind of thinking, that one won't work, that one won't work, and it's getting a bit crazy, and then suddenly a really nice idea emerges and you've got something, and from that moment on, it's on, and it's really exciting.
For me was, when the shooting ended, and when I talked with all the people and got to know more about them, and how it felt, and how were we feeling during the shoot. So I think that was the best moment, where the shooting ended and we all felt relief.
Yeah.
Because, as it was a one shot, it has to be like, there were so many takes, and, where
How many takes did you do?
Oh my God, we started from 10 a.m. in the morning and we ended 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And we had to I had to tell them, again and again, but they were so patient with everything. So I think that was, that was the best part.
And so of all of the takes that you did, we can't even count them, so many, which take did you use? Tell me it wasn't the first take.
No, I think after the first, scene, people get to know more about what's going to happen, and then I think the last take was the best one, where, the girl is, just walking outside, and that was, I think, the best one.
Yeah.
Because we felt so much relief and everything, so much things were improvised.
So was it close to the last one that you used? Or?
Yeah, the last one, yeah.
It was the last one. Okay, good. Because a few years ago we had a one take. I said, how many takes did you do? 30 takes. Which one did you use? Second one. So, but well done, Brahma. Okay, let's hear everybody your favorite moment, okay?
I think my favourite moment was when we were filming the last scene under the underpass where the two guys are about to sell their finely made drugs to the buyer. And we had rehearsed it maybe 20 times the night before because we were going to have to be shooting that outside in public, but I was playing the buyer having a seizure on the floor. It wasn't very... But we managed to get it in 3 takes or something by the 3rd take, so it felt pretty satisfying. No one came down and witnessed any of the mishappenings, so it was good.
My favorite moment's a weird one. It's when everything came together on Sunday on a particular moment, and it's when Milo confesses the truth about his alcoholism, and just how the music and the performance and the editing, just everything, how everything came together. I just kind of felt the moment, and it was just so honest and raw in terms of the performance that I started crying so hard. My partner had to come to the room to make sure I was okay.
Can we give his partner a round of applause for her compassion?
It was also the editor of the effects as well.
I mean, there were lots of great moments. So I think I personally really enjoyed the writing session on the Friday night because it was a really great collaborative environment where everyone was spitballing ideas, and it sort of brought the whole thing together as an idea and a plan, which I really enjoyed.
To pick, I think probably my favourite moment was just being outside in beautiful landscape with all my friends making the film, but one that stands out is the birth of Milo, and just seeing the shot of him being lifted into the air, and all of us just trying really hard not to laugh, but it was a beautiful moment.
For me, one of my favourite moments personally was there was a shot where the camera was looking up at all my friends in sunglasses. And in order to do that, I had to lie straight down on the ground, and there were loads and loads and loads of people passing us by, just wondering what we were doing, and it was a struggle not to laugh. So yeah.
There's a moment where we're committed to filming this. We're in the creepy basement. We've got, crazy trainers left the station, and you're seeing everyone in their costumes, all the actors kind of giving it their all, just dedicated to the nonsense, and you're just partially, I love how committed everyone is, and partially, what have we created?
For me, it was probably just the sequence at the end where we all had to dance like lunatics for an hour straight. I think that was the general consensus among the group as well. So.
Yeah, I'd say for me it was probably a scene that didn't even make it in, but it was when at the end me and the cameraman Jay, we went into the river in Kelvin Grove and filmed the ball just going down the river. We stripped off and got in, and it was kind of odd because I was wearing a high vis still, so everyone thought, what's he doing? And they thought I was doing something important, but I was just filming this. Well, he was filming the ball, and I was waiting to catch the ball in case it drifted too far, but it was quite funny, and everyone was just going, watching us.
We had some excellent moments, things like when Verity's walking out the lift disappearing to a different floor, and other things like comments when we were walking through the Botanic Gardens in dressing gowns and stuff like that. But I think my favourite moment is we get together, the 6 of us, and just throw some ideas around on the Friday evening, and then we all leave John Paul to basically write the whole thing. So he writes all the music, all the lyrics, puts the whole storyline together. We all go to bed, have a lovely night's sleep, meet in Starbucks for a coffee at 9 o'clock in the morning while he's finishing off. And then at about 9:30, we get the track and the lib through from him, and we just sit there and we just listen with huge smiles on our faces going, how on earth has he managed to write that overnight? So I think that's my favourite moment, is when we finally get to see what he's produced for us to film.
Let's hear it for John Paul. Thank you, John Paul, for your music. And all of our musicians and composers in the audience.
Yes. Sometimes you start something and then you lose sight of what you were doing. No, not really. That was the towel. We can't remember why there's a towel in it at all. The numbers actually are the first series of numbers, 5588, 4291, are the coordinates of the Botanic Gardens, which is where they meet up at the end. So those are coordinates. And the second set of numbers is the date that they are meeting up on. John Paul, when he was writing it also, each of the numbers is the number in the scale that represents that particular number. So 5588, 4291, 231, 225 are the actual. Sorry, my scene's crap, which is why I direct. So the first series of numbers are the coordinates of the Botanic Gardens. The second set of numbers is the date that these future travellers are going to arrive.
Yeah, you did cover that in Film I Music, but I'm glad I asked because that is really cool that it also relates to the notes.
I mean, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Everything was improvised and it's caught in the moment. I believe that it's a really tightly written, funny script that you have there, and with really good performances. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, pretty much everything that happened was scripted. We spent the whole night writing it. I think we were up till 3 o'clock. So.
That was my question. How collaborative was it? Was it just one person or everyone?
Yeah, we had like a room of 5 people, and just whoever could think of the funniest thing is what we would write down. So
yeah,
we would improvise a lot, some stuff when we were doing the talking head shots, but we would try and stick so that every scene would start and end at the same place. But yeah, it was all very planned.
Yeah, tightly written, very, very precise, and the rhythm is amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, our actor Rory did a great job with the rhythm, going back and forth with the guy on the couch when he's showing off his suit. It was unreal. And Ewan, who was playing Milo, I don't know how he did that in his pants with the apron and everything. That was unbelievable.
Not the people that made it, but I was wondering for the choices of the clothing for the dance performance. That was quite peculiar. I wanted to know what the choicing was there.
Yeah. I think we just wanted to make it look like a bunch of like weird rich people. That's basically it.
Yeah, it's definitely that. It was just like loads of different colours of like wigs and stuff, and there's just I couldn't even probably think of that off the top of my own head, some of the outfits that were in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was wearing like a hat on top of a hat. So, yeah.
I was wondering where you filmed that.
We did a ritual for the weather, blood sacrifice. No, so we actually are based in Edinburgh, so we came through on the Friday night. Well, my 2 friends came through on the Friday night, and I stayed at home and made food for them to arrive so we could script. But that's actually just out past Flotterston Inn in the Pentlands, so it's maybe like a 20-minute drive-ish from like the centre of Edinburgh. And it's a really nice kind of walk out, and you can find wee patches that look really remote. Yeah, it's a beautiful place if you've not been before. But I kind of grew up around that area, so I know it quite well. And my co-director Heather, she is known as Scottish Adventure Co, so she knows her wild places.
Have any locations in advance? Did they correspond to your genre or not? Did you use them?
I think you have to have your locations in advance. It's virtually the only thing, apart from cast and crew, that you can plan in advance. So really the idea is to have as generic as possible. And I think we lucked out when we got Film de Femme, because that can take place anywhere. So it fitted us.
Same thing, like having, like, location was the first thing that came in my mind. and we sort of made the story around the location instead of making, finding a location after the story. So location was the first thing.
We just used one of our actors' houses that we worked in. So, we were going to film the drug deal outside of a spa, and that just wasn't going to work. So, yeah, we had to move to an underpass, but that was fine.
I knew the building I was going to be filming in. There were 2 rooms, and I've always wanted to do a post-litigation film, but of course didn't have the genre, and I didn't know what it was going to be. And there's another space in the building I thought could be like a dance floor, perhaps, like maybe they're rehearsing. So like, hey, see what happens, combine them, or either or. And then, yeah, got the genre and the elements and concocted what you say.
Not really, no. I mean, the good thing about living in Stirling is everything so close together, so we could just sort of wing it. But given we had thriller, mystery, suspense, Stirling works quite well in that environment, as it's got a slightly gothic-y look at points, which is quite good.
So we did have a location firmed up, which was kind of like a room that could have just looked like it could have been anywhere. We could have made it an office, could have made it anything. And then we pulled action adventure, and we were like, oh, well. We had pulled that or silent film, and we did have ideas for both. But we thought action adventure was the better film out of the ones that we planned, and so we kind of thought, well, there's so many places nearby. We knew Flotterson Inn. We knew that you didn't need to kind of plan too much in advance to go there because it's you can film there. It's public land, so right to Rome.
No location sorted. So we sort of wrote the script first and then wrote locations in afterwards. So we were all sitting in the pub at 11 PM in the Friday night going, this person's got a flat free, we need a factory. The Riverside Museum looks kind of like a factory. Let's CGI some smoke onto it, and that'll do. And that was us.
I suppose that we kind of arranged to write it at the home of one of our directors, and that kind of came with the implicit promise/threat that we'd be filming there. And then when it kind of came into our heads as well that we had this kind of weird mystical location, and just like, I have connections through a weird basement. Those kicked in, and we would find out. So
We sort of filmed ours in the same flat that we wrote it in the previous night. I'm pretty sure this flat has become infamous for being used in every single film we shoot at this point. It's sort of what it is in the cinematic universe.
No, we didn't really have any locations at all, to be honest. And then we got workplace film, and we thought, oh shit, we're all unemployed, no, we don't have anywhere to film that. So we thought, oh, where's the best place we can film? The public. So one of our team members, Frank, came up with a good idea to save us, which was be a letter picker, because we could just film anywhere. Which was sometimes a bit of a challenge with other people, but it wasn't that bad. It worked out in the end. So.
This is the first time that we've not had a location sorted before we started filming, but again, we were able to just be quite flexible, and I decided that I wanted to do quite a lot of it outside, which kind of helps because you can just walk around the streets and film. So no specific location for us this time. Did it hamper us? I'm not sure, actually, because we've been quite organised previously, or we'll definitely film it here, or definitely film it here, and I think they both, it kind of swings and roundabouts, really. Sometimes it's nice to know this is where we're definitely going to shoot, but other times it's actually quite nice to go, actually, where should we go, and what should we do? And we might go to Fir Hill and shoot a bit at Fir Hill, and then we can't go in here and we can't do that, so it's a bit of a learning experience as well. It was quite good fun.
Any learnings? Yeah, well, you can start from either direction. Okay, let's start from this direction. Wherever the microphone is.
Yeah, so I think when you see your film on screen, that's when your kind of gaps are kind of magnified, if you like, and I knew the sound wasn't great, and I realised kind of how bad it was, so that would be very much something that I would do differently next time. Next time I would get a dedicated sound engineer to help out.
I agree on that after seeing the movie, I also saw some gaps, especially with the sound. And sometimes it was low, sometimes it was high, but this was my first, so I'm really happy with the way it came out. And I think the other thing will be doing more collaboration, because this was my first short film, so I didn't know how to collaborate with others, and I should be more collaborative with all my friends and stuff. So I think that's a big learning, and I think these two are the biggest ones.
I think the biggest problem, was that a problem? Learning, yeah. I forgot that I had work on Sunday. So I had to stay up till 4 doing a rough edit. And then Andrew, our editor, he finished it off while I was at work. So very good. Remembering Book of Holiday.
When I started making films, I was like, I think a lot of people starting, I was micromanaging. And then as it went on, I became a lot more collaborative and it became very easy to just let people do their thing. And I work with people who've done this before many times. And I think I overcorrected potentially, and I don't think I was there to just make sure that, in the post-production that is, in certain aspects that they had everything they needed. So if I could go back in time, and I thought about what would I do differently, is I would just send a message, say, hey, do you have everything you need from me? Just so I don't micromanage, but also they know I'm there, and if there's something that makes them, oh no, shit, I do need this from you. So, yeah.
I'd say I probably need to test the equipment before we use it, because after one scene our boom mic decided it didn't like working. So we had to go find like an interview mic like this, and then we had someone sort of crouching under the camera like this for every subsequent scene, which was quite amusing. So yeah, test the equipment.
So I thought Midgie season was over. It's not. So next time, if we're shooting outside, I'm going to be better prepared for that, and I'm going to have a full Midgie suit, because I was standing behind everyone, wafting him away with my cap. Poor Kerr had Midgie bites all around his cap line. It was brutal.
Eating and sleeping is something that my team did not do a ton of during the party hours. And I think by like 7 PM on the Sunday, I think the three of us that were editing were very close to death from hunger. So make sure that people are sleeping and eating.
Yeah, I'd say, like Ronan said, testing the equipment definitely, because for like a month and a bit before we did this, I was like, don't worry guys, I've got new mics. I don't have to worry about the mics that we've been using before, and we've got new mics now. Did not test those new mics the entire time. They worked, they did not sound better. So
probably just giving ourselves like a bit more time with the editing. Like we got there in the end, but yeah, just don't want to stress people out too much. So
we're always quite a small team, so maybe getting a few more people, because it's usually, well, this time it was 4 people, 3 actors, and then one person who's in the cameraman, the editor, and the director all in one. So that poor soul did not get any rest. So maybe getting some bloody help next time would be good.
I think for me it was something that I didn't really realise until we were in the middle of shooting, was particularly at the end, the 2 long sequences of Verity sitting at the news desk, a la Natasha Kaplinsky, and then when they're actually outside, was how long the take was going to be, and the fact that Rachel had to learn the singing and the words before that take. So I should probably have used multiple shots so I could break it up and make the filming of it a little bit easier, but there was no need because she did a great job, Rach. But next time I think maybe some slightly shorter scenes that are not quite so long, so she doesn't have so much to remember.
Proud of you all. So I hope that if you haven't figured it out yet, that's the scanning code. You scan there to vote. Thank you. Don't share that with anybody who's not here. It's only for people who have seen the films. Please join us. We have another screening at 20 past 8, but I believe